49ers news and rumors mailbag coming your way next here on the 49ers Report live by Chat Sports. I am your host, Jay Sr. Make sure you use the hashtag 49ers or Super Chat is for you to get your questions answered. We answer all of your questions in these mailbags during our live shows, 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific every Tuesday. Make sure you subscribe and join us. We start off with this $5 Super Chat from Marcus. I got 5 on it. Watching from New Mexico. Keep up the great work, man. Hashtag Niner, hashtag GG, hashtag AmorLF. My man, Marcus Brill, tuning in from New Mexico. If there's one thing I know since I took over this channel after the NFL draft in April, it is this. The Niner faithful, the Niner gang, the Niner empire, it spans all across the globe, including Marcus in New Mexico. EJ Redemption. I think we should look into PJ Walker for a backup. He was amazing in the XFL. He would be cheap, and he had a good first start. PJ Walker balled out in the XFL. He was the MVP of that XFL season that got shortened because of COVID. I actually covered PJ Walker and Matt Rule while I was at Temple University as a student media member. I was doing a bunch of play-by-play covering the Temple football team. I was able to see Matt Rule take them from basically being a dormant program to bringing them to the American Athletic Conference Championship game. PJ Walker was really, really good at Temple, and he really improved his game as a professional quarterback. Really got helped out a lot by going to the XFL. Lands then again with Matt Rule in Carolina. I think he's a very, very solid backup who could come on the cheap. Harold Murillo, one of our biggest fans here. How many draft picks can the Niners get for Kyle Shanahan? So this is funny because the Raiders, when they first had John Gruden, traded Gruden away to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for some picks at the time. And I know that a lot of Niner fans are very frustrated with Kyle Shanahan because he has a below 500 record. What is it, 31-37 up to this point in year 5, which has not been good enough, even though you had that Super Bowl appearance back in 2019. There are teams across the league, I can guarantee you this, who revere Kyle Shanahan, who would love to have him as their head coach. They'd probably give up some serious draft capital to have him come in there to be that offensive mastermind that he's been at times for the 49ers. Hasn't been that this year. How many draft picks? I'm not sure, but I think teams would give up draft picks to bring in Kyle Shanahan to be the face of their franchise as the next head coach. KKV, if we trade Jimmy, what team would he go to and what would we get in return? So is Taylor Heinicke good enough for the Washington football team? I think he's been a little bit better than what people had expected him to be. I think he's a journeyman. I think he's a backup and a very good backup at that. But as a spot starter coming in replace of Ryan Fitzpatrick, he's been pretty good. But the Washington football team, a team that could be in the market for a quarterback. Houston Texans always looking because Davis Mills simply ain't it. Teddy Bridgewater, he was good for the first couple of games, but the Broncos need a quarterback moving into the future as well because I like that roster outside of quarterback. Cleveland Browns because of Baker Mayfield's injury issues. Miami Dolphins if they don't trade for Deshaun Watson. There are a lot of teams out there who I think would be interested in Jimmy Garoppolo. I think they'd be more interested in him if he proved to stay just a little bit healthier, which is really unfortunate because when Jimmy G's been on the field, he's been a pretty solid and serviceable starter who does win a lot of games, but man, those injury issues continue to creep up. BetUS is our presenting sponsor for today's mailbag here on the 49ers Report. You can get the best deal that any sportsbook has to offer by going to chatsports.com/49bet and enter the promo code Niners125, a 125% deposit bonus by using that link in that promo code. So if you put $100 into your account, you get an additional $125 back. And the Niners going into the Sunday Night Football matchup against the Indianapolis Colts entered as 5-point favorites. That line is now dipped down to 3.5. The over-under at 44. So Vegas and the odds makers expecting this to be a very low-scoring game. All of these sports books, they tried out all of these different deals, but this deal is definitely the best. Let's pop it up onto your screen so you see it. You go to chatsports.com/49bet. You enter the promo code Niners125. This 125% deposit bonus is great. You put in $100, you get an additional $125 back. That's $225 to game with. Cody 49er. George Kittle is hurt a lot. I was thinking about this. Would it make sense to trade him to get back some really good players or picks? So if you look at George Kittle's career, it's not like historically he's been injured a ton. He was injured last year, injured this year because of that calf injury. George Kittle is no doubt one of the best tight ends in the league. Like, he is in that class with a Travis Kelce, a Darren Waller, and some of the other great tight ends across the league. Mark Andrews has been balling out for the Baltimore Ravens. Travis Kelce, of course, in that conversation too. Like, there are some legitimate tight ends in the NFL among some of the elite guys, and I think George Kittle, when he's healthy, is that. So if you do trade him away, yeah, you're going to get players back. Again, injury is a little bit of a concern the last couple of years, especially considering what you're paying him. But I view him as a leader. I view him as a franchise cornerstone. I would not trade George Kittle away because I think he does have an impact on this roster, on the field, but in the locker room as well. So would you be outraged? Like, I'm talking outraged. Really, really pissed. Really, really mad if George Kittle did get traded. Type 1 for yes, type 2 for no. Alpha Doctor 20, who do you think is the best defensive and offensive player on the team? Trent Williams is probably the best offensive player. If that's not sexy enough for you, Deebo Samuel has been the best offensive skill player on this team up to this point. Best defensive player, it's no doubt Nick Bosa. Maybe Fred Warner is a close number 2. That's why I'm confident that the Niners can turn it around, because when you scan this roster as a whole, offensively, defensively, a bunch of different positional groups, there are a lot of really, really good pieces and players on this team. They haven't reached expectations so far. 2-3 really isn't good enough. I've been confused and confounded by the 3-game losing streak as well, but I think they can turn it around because they do have the good players to do so. Gold Rush 619, man, that Gold Rush era was special. Will Jeff Wilson take the top spot when he's cleared to play? Will he breathe life back into the run game? So birthday boy Marshall Green went to North Texas. So too did Jeff Wilson. So too did producer Jeremy Chuggs. We got a couple of North Texas folks. Shout out to Denton. Jeff Wilson, yeah, no, he's pretty solid. Like, is he going to be the RB1 if Eljiah Mitchell continues to play well? Use a draft pick on him. I think he's going to continue to maybe get the bulk of the carries. Trey Sermon, you drafted him in the 3rd round. So while Jeff Wilson has had his moments, did you kind of get a peek into what Kyle Shanahan and the organization were thinking when they drafted 2 players at the running back spot with Trey Sermon and Eljiah Mitchell? Do they think a Raheem Mostert, who's in the final year of his contract, is expendable? Do they think that Jeff Wilson is expendable as well? I hope that when Jeff Wilson comes back, maybe at some point in November, he does breathe life back into this offense. They definitely have to get the ground game going because that is Kyle Shanahan's bread and butter. DS Gauss, do you think the Niners made a mistake in letting Kaepernick go? And do you think the front office should have made relations better with Coach Jim Harbaugh, considering we had Super Bowl runs every year with him? I mean, it wasn't really a Super Bowl run every year. You lost in the Ravens to his brother, John. I mean, I like Harbaugh, but I think that tenure had just kind of run its course. As for Kaepernick, I mean, Chip Kelly gave him a chance. And for Colin Kaepernick, like, politics aside, I'm not even getting into all of that because that's a loaded conversation. I'm talking him as a player on the field. Like, if there was an offense for Kaepernick to thrive in, it was the early Harbaugh offense. He certainly thrived and flourished in that offense, but then defenses were able to catch up to him. And then Chip Kelly gave Kaepernick an opportunity for him to be the franchise quarterback. He got beat out by Blaine Gabbert. So that goes to show you that he just wasn't really good at the end of his 49ers career. Now, do I think he should still be in the league? For sure. Offenses have evolved in a way that have catered to a guy like Colin Kaepernick playing well, but look, he had his opportunities, and I just don't think he was able to really earn the trust of his coaches for him to be a quality quarterback. Hey, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're live here on the 49ers Report as we record this on Tuesday with more than 300 people watching live. I'm sure a lot of you, or some of you at least, have not subscribed to the channel. But if you want the best in 49ers news and rumors coverage here on YouTube that's both informative, entertaining, and educational, hit that subscribe button down below and join the faithful family as we try to get to 50,000 subscribers. Cashman Boone, should the 49ers buy or sell? Hashtag 49ers bang bang. Yeah, I don't know. I think it really is all dependent on how the Niners play against a Colts team that I actually think is a lot better than what people think. The last 2 weeks against the Ravens and then against the Houston Texans, statistically, and my eyes tell me, Carson Wentz has been one of the better quarterbacks in the league. He's really been producing eye-popping numbers for Indianapolis with Frank Reich, who was his offensive coordinator back when he was playing very well at the Philadelphia Eagles several years ago. So if the Niners go out there and they throttle the Colts, or they play very, very well, and they end this 3-game losing streak, I think they might buy. Now, if they lose a 4th consecutive game, that's not good. A lot of people might be calling them for sell, and then to start Trey Lance to help him develop as a quarterback. What do you think, though? Your opportunity to really answer the bell here and chime in. Should the 49ers buy or sell? Type B for buy, type S for sell. Honestly, get those comments in the comment section because I want to see where you're at on this topic. GamerDude, another one, DJ Khaled. Chase, you are the GOAT. What do you think Jimmy G's stats are going to be against the Indianapolis Colts? GamerDude, you crack me up. I love the enthusiasm, man. Hopefully Jimmy G plays pretty well coming off that calf contusion. I got people laughing at me, man. I can't keep my composure. GamerDude, man, you're just a diehard fan, bro. Love you. I think Jimmy G could play pretty well against the Indianapolis Colts. I just don't think I'm a GOAT. I don't think I've proven to be a GOAT. Let's say Jimmy G goes like 20 of 31 against a Colts defensive secondary that can be taken advantage of, and he throws 2 touchdown passes. There you go, GamerDude. EJ Redemption, I think we should keep Jimmy Garoppolo. Trey is not ready at all. He completed less than he took off and ran in his first start. He also was not good in the preseason. So I disagree with you. We knew that going into the year, Trey Lance was going to be extremely raw. He played 1 full season of college football at the FCS level at North Dakota State. He only attempted a little more than 300 passes. He was 20 years old when the Niners drafted him. What I look for is the moments of brilliance, the moments of potential, the athleticism, the arm strength, his pocket feel and pocket mobility. He had all of that, and he showed glimpses to me of being a very dangerous quarterback. So I'm not going to say that he wasn't good. I think he has a lot of potential, but keeping Jimmy Garoppolo while continuing to develop Trey Lance, that's pretty smart. We get to this question from my dude, wetnoodle187. If we do ship Jimmy to Cleveland for OBJ, do you think we should bring in Cam Newton? So I said this yesterday on Monday as we kind of covered this topic because The Athletic had kind of pitched that trade idea, sending away Jimmy Garoppolo for Odell Beckham Jr. I don't think Cam Newton would be a terrible backup. I've never been a huge Cam Newton guy because before last year he had a career completion percentage of under 60. That's well below league average. But as a guy who you can use in short yardage situations and groom, develop, and mentor Trey Lance, I think it could be a smart play. $5 super chat coming in from Jeremy Chuggs. Chase, you're the coolest guy in the office. So awesome. Maybe the swaggiest guy I've ever met. Do you expect George Kittle to return to form this year? That one coming in from producer Jeremy Chuggs. Yeah, hopefully George Kittle comes off that calf injury and he's the George Kittle of old who has all-pro potential. These guys are just unbelievable, man. I work at a very cool place at Chat Sports. I'm very, very blessed. Denis Korkmaz, any relation to Furkan of the Sixers? Hey, Chase, who has more upside, Sermon or Mitchell, in the current offensive system? So I think that both of them were Kyle Shanahan selections, and I think both of them were drafted because Kyle Shanahan likes their fit in that outside zone scheme. So I think Mitchell right now, so far, has shown more potential than a guy like Trey Sermon. He's a little bit more decisive with reading holes and attacking them. He's had a little bit more burst. He's done more with his opportunities than Trey Sermon has, and Sermon has had limited opportunities. I'm hoping that both can be good, though. GamerDude, do you think Bosa will get 5 sacks versus the Colts, Chase? I don't think he's going to get 5 sacks. He has 5 sacks on the year. So for him to get 5 sacks in one game, that would be crazy. And if Nick Bosa wreaks havoc and does get 5 sacks, I think you're looking at a 49ers win. We did get a $5 super chat coming in from Weird Beard, so let's hit that before we dip on out of here. Appreciate the question, Gamer Dude, all of the enthusiasm, and for you being a fan. Weird Beard with this $5 super chat. Albuquerque, New Mexico, Niner for life, represent 24/7, 365 with Chase Sr. My dude. Weird Beard. I don't think you're weird at all. But if you have a weird beard and it's like something crazy, send it to me. You see my Twitter down below, at Chase_Senior. Maybe a picture of you with some crazy beard rocking some Niners gear. Hit me up. I'll definitely retweet that.